Your microphone is on. I made sure it was. Yep.
Oh, can't see it. Miriam.
She's Miriam. I'm Chris. I'm also one of the co-founders, president, and the technical guy behind Keto Chow, and I made sure her microphone was on.
We didn't rewrite the script yet.
If you're brand new to Keto Chow, it's a nutritionally complete meal designed to make doing keto easy. We also have some electrolyte supplements that are amazing for everyday use and for keeping the dreaded keto flu away. We're going to talk about those tonight.
Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah. Be sure to subscribe, hit the little bell icon. That way, when we post a new video about how Miriam likes to do...
to mix my Ninja Creamy.
That's right. You'll get notified
Not how to make it as a recipe.
Yeah. Dennis liked your video.
Thank you.
And they were all talking about it earlier. Becca and Betsy and Dennis just going back and forth, talking about the creamy. To Dennis's, well, I think it was actually... I can't remember who it was that said it. If you add allulose, it does make it a bit softer and it changes the freezing characteristics.
Yes.
You can also accomplish the same thing with Terra gum. T-A-R-A. Terra gum.
Not T-E-R-A.
No.
Get mixed up sometimes.
That would be
say that.
Terra gum or something like that.
A person.
Let's see. Although adding allulose does raise the total carbohydrates.
That's true. And the possibility of gas.
I guess so. Anyway, Jerry's here, so is Glenda.
Hi, Glenda.
And
Hi, Jerry.
Stwong.
Hi, Becca.
Let's see, Visual Q says, howdy, Chow peeps.
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
J-Dog had chocolate peanut butter Keto Chow creamy for dinner.
Yes.
Guiltless delights. Let's see, Betsy had vanilla custard for dinner. Nice.
Awesome.
And Becca's having, on her tablet, having weird autocorrect.
Oh, I'm sorry.
One of my friends, his brother changed, got onto his mom's phone and changed her autocorrect. So every time she said, I think it was their dad's name, it would say turkey or something weird like that.
That's
funny.
funny.
It would just really weird autocorrect.
Program autocorrect.
It's a feature of most of the keyboards.
That's funny.
Yep. Let's see, Janet's here, so is LaShawn.
Hello.
Let's see, Lynn says hi all.
Did you say hi to Dennis
Anybody
already?
in the storms of Iowa? No.
Ooh, Iowa.
We did say hi to Dennis.
Hi, Dennis.
Let's see. Mike is here. Heath is here. Says Tuesday,
Hi,
everyone. Is it Taco Tuesday? What the heck?
Taco Tuesday sounds good. We had burgers and broccoli.
Leftover burgers.
And some meatballs.
Yeah, well, it was funny because our youngest son, wanted his sister to give him a ride to the store, and he wanted money because there was nothing in the house he could eat.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's lots of stuff you can eat.
So usually he calls me and says, can I have some ice cream? And then I say, no, you should have breakfast. And he also calls and says, can I play the Switch? Or can I play the Oculus?
Can I order
or
DoorDash?
sometimes, can I get in the hot tub? So I was expecting one of those questions when today he called me and said, can I make meatballs? I said, absolutely, yes.
Put meatballs into the... You know what, the funny... You tried for 2 days to get him to put meatballs into the crock pot.
It's because he doesn't want to make the recipe. So I told him I would literally tell him the recipe over the phone and he could write it on a piece of paper.
Okay.
Or I had emailed it to the entire family entitled meatball recipe. So you could search your email and then find it. And he said, oh, I'll just ask Ruth to pull it up on the computer. But then I came home and it was just plain meatballs,
it was meatballs
which was totally
that you
fine.
could eat with barbecue sauce if you wanted. There you go.
Yep.
But anyway, so when I showed him how to use the smoker to smoke frozen hamburgers.
Right. And that was our leftovers for
And
tonight.
I said the nice thing about doing it in the smoker is you only have to flip it once.
Yep.
And it's super easy. Barely an inconvenience.
Yeah.
Laverne says hi from Southern Alberta.
How are you?
Shauna is here as well.
Hi,
and so is
Shauna.
Kel in Michigan.
Hi, Kel.
Let's see. Becca says, Drad, I'm buffering. My daughter must be on Discord. Is Discord using that much bandwidth? That's weird. Exposing Darkness is here. So is Rick Wen.
Hi, Rick Wen.
Gentile.
Yeah.
Gentile. Says, just placed my first order.
Hooray,
Awesome.
what did you
welcome.
order? I'm so happy.
Kathy says, good evening.
Good evening.
Exposing Darkness says, will you be at Keto-palooza? The one in Louisville?
Yeah, we will.
Yes, we will. We're either the or one of the major sponsors for it.
We love Keto-palooza.
Mike says, yes, nice video. I posted a link to it on the Keto Ice Cream in the Ninja Creamy group today.
Thank you.
Nice. Well, and so
Hi,
last
Carrie.
week we talked about how we were going to be changing up the way that we do videos and not doing as many live streams because we're going to be concentrating more on produced videos. And that was one of the first ones.
Yep.
Carrie says good evening. Lynette says, hey guys.
Hi, Lynette.
Denise is here as well. Marie says, hi everyone from Manitoba, Canada.
Hello.
Nice. He says, I had typed out, hey yo, happy terrific Taco Tuesday. I don't know how it got is.
That's okay. It looks amazing.
LaShawn's having pork bacon cheeseburgers. Wow. That's a good way to do it.
Nice.
This is thank you for the Memorial Day credit. I got it today and spent it today.
Yay.
Let's see. Leanne says, I had a burger and fried eggs. It was yummy.
Oh, that does sound
Nice.
yummy. I love fried eggs.
Lady Riz says, I'm excited. I ordered the My Chow box and the surprise box too. At the same time? Then you'll be surprised and not surprised.
Yeah.
Cindy's having Keto Chow spicy taco waffles.
Oh,
Made
that
them
sounds
into pizzas
awesome.
for dinner.
That sounds amazing.
You guys know what Miriam got for her
Do you want to see?
late anniversary, late Mother's Day? Well, Joe, who is here,
Hi, Joe.
says, what's up, family? Posted a video about the Stuffler.
I still haven't even watched the first one.
So I messaged him. I said, well, thanks a lot, Joe. You finally
Got
convinced
this in
me.
the mail today.
I bought one. So
And you know what I want to make?
what?
Corn dogs.
Oh, okay. Don't show the other side. It's got our address.
Ooh,
ever
nobody
find
can read that. Because you know what? I really, really like that recipe of the tamale pie breading top with the corn dog maker. But this has the center, so I bet we could just cut some brats apart and just...
Or put some sliced cheese in there.
Also, that would be good too.
Mudgeon
So I'll be
Jill says, steak
excited.
and
We're
crab
going to have
legs.
to look at all those Stuffler videos that came out and play with some.
Serious Keto has a couple as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Lori is here.
Oh,
Let's see.
steak and crab legs. I'm jealous. That
Karen
sounds
says hi
amazing.
from St. George.
Hi, Karen.
Hello, Karen. It's been a while since we were in St. George.
Yeah,
Earlier last month.
I was there earlier. 2 weekends in a row.
Yep. Yeah, you literally were in St. George 2 weekends in a row, weren't you?
Because it's a good
He
place
says,
to be.
when will taco flavor Keto Chow be available again?
Oh,
so
snap.
the taco is a seasonal flavor, which means that we stock it in the fall, and we have it for a while, and when it sells out, it's out until the fall. It actually, well, let's see if it says
may
that.
have just run
It
out.
should say that
Look
on
how cute that
the
is.
taco page.
So cute. Wow, look at those
Well, it's because
highlighted
I had it selected.
weirdness.
Let's see, taco.
Grape is still here. I don't know why. There it is. Bottom.
Spicy taco.
Seasonal. Is there still some left?
This is a fall, winter,
So key
seasonal
lime. I
flavor.
don't always get along. But taco night is the best. Like the actual best. There's some things about
So there you go.
spicy heat that's the spot no matter what mood I'm in.
So there's the answer to your
cute.
question. It will be back available again in the fall. Jen says, oh yeah, they're talking back and forth. Let's see. Gentile says, I'm a Dr. Berry watcher and I ordered the daily minerals and
Yay,
electrolytes.
well, glad
Awesome.
you're here.
Fantastic.
Thanks for supporting Dr. Berry. We
Latonia
love him.
says, I'm new here. Welcome as
Latonia.
well. And I might have just completely ruined your name. Sorry
Me
about
too.
that.
I copied him.
Kathy says, hi,
Gina's
Lynette.
here. Good evening.
Two Crazy Kyo says, just finished an awesome chicken park stuffler.
Nice. That sounds awesome.
Let's see.
Oh, Right Family's here. Hi.
Betsy says, I don't think I was notified about Miriam's video. Am I doing something wrong? Well, it depends on what device you're on. So on YouTube,
Oh, yeah.
when you subscribe, there's the little bell. And if you click on that, it asks you, do you want to be notified of every video or just ones?
live streams. Or
Well, it's just ones that Utah thinks that you're
Recommend?
going to like.
Ah.
If that's enabled, then it will notify you. Now, that might mean that it's coming through like a mobile device. But if you have notifications for YouTube disabled, using either Android or iOS,
Right.
you will not get notifications. It doesn't matter what's happening.
So there's sometimes a secret way to go get your
Well, the best way to do it is just to turn off notifications and then turn them on again.
Yeah. So
or in this case, unsubscribe and then subscribe again and hit the little bell.
Yeah.
That way,
And hit the like
every
button.
time the Two Crazy Ketos upgrade the air conditioning diverter in Eleanor, you'll get alerted to it.
Yeah, especially if you subscribe to their channel. We didn't have any upgrading of air conditioning.
Becca says, my husband is also streaming Stargate, and my poor tablet only gets the dregs of our connection.
Yes! Stargate!
That's a better thing to do than watching us.
I love it.
Two Crazy Ketos says we made a corn dog recipe today for the Stuffler.
Yes, I knew it. I knew.
Shauna says I don't need another appliance, etc., etc.
I know I didn't need another one either, but I do want a rowing machine.
I'm sure you do. You know what is getting dusty? That thing.
I want it.
Scott of Arkansas says, good evening, everyone. I had a pie waffle this morning, and it was amazing. Nice.
Ooh, that does sound yummy.
Gina is here, and so is Rye Family. I don't know if I said hi to you guys earlier. If not, sorry. Let's see.
Hi, Lynette.
Lashana wants to know when Banana is coming back.
Oh, I don't know.
So I did do a test of that flavor, and it tasted weird. So they're going to give me a couple more.
So we're fixing it.
Well, just anymore, we are like triple checking the flavors before they go into production. So
right.
It will be a while. I do not have an answer for you, unfortunately.
Sorry.
Kathy ordered the Stuffler today. He says, pro tip, tacos are always in season. Hashtag tacos are life.
Can we make a raspberry cheesecake with this Stuffler?
Well, then throw a little bit of cream cheese in the middle. Yeah. He says, making an order soon. Jessica says, good evening, everyone, in Grandview, Washington. Getting ready to start doing weekly runs to Alaska.
Yes.
Wow.
That's cool. Okay. How are you, Jessica?
Sandra wants to know, do we have a store in Draper? Yes. We have one store.
You should come see us.
And yes, it's in Draper. That's our only location is in Draper, Utah. It's the former location of Fashion Corner.
In case you know what that is. It's the Sparkly Butt Jeans place from 10 years ago. Probably is 10 years ago.
But if you use Google or Apple Maps, when we moved to that location, I made sure that we were in the right place on both of them the day, actually the hour that we moved.
Yeah.
So, Leanne says, I'm happy to be on the live. I will be ordering for the first time.
Leanne,
my first one will be the Daily Minerals and Electrolytes because I'm so tired of leg cramps.
Oh, you're going to love them. You could try the Magnesium too if you wanted.
Yep. Speaking
I
of...
take the Magnesium every night, and it does help me sleep, and it helps me with leg cramps because I get them pretty bad.
Wanted to point out two things.
Oh, yes.
So, number one, there's this bundle and save. This is a new thing. It's all 4 of the little bottles.
The little tinies, so you can try those out. The Daily Minerals only has like 2 servings in it.
It is a 4 serving.
Yeah, it's a little bit of servings.
It's a little, Jenny.
I'm sorry, I'm not so remembering.
That's okay.
Anyway, so it's just so that you can try it out, or you can keep it in your purse.
Yeah.
If you want to, and you can take it on an airplane. So it's not going to be like a whole bunch. You still want to probably get the big bottle, but anyway, it's really nice that you can have all the littles if you want to try them out.
Yep. Now, I also wanted to point out on the supplements page, there's this What's Best for My Needs.
Oh, nice.
And it's a little quiz.
Cool.
That says a way for us to hear from our community.
Oh, cool.
That's not supposed to say that. That's a holdover from a previous quiz. Anyway.
It still is us hearing from you.
But yeah, you can, for instance, let's say you've got low energy. What concerns do you most have?
Can you put multiple or just one?
No, just one for each one.
That's a bummer.
And you calculate, and it says, hey, you probably want the Daily Minerals.
That's cool.
So it's just a way to maybe
get
figure out which one might be best for you. Now, the other way to figure out which one might be best for you, because we get that question a lot.
Yep.
On our Daily Minerals
page. Scroll down to the Daily Minerals and the missing
elements
blog
post.
And that has all of the words.
Yes, it is. It goes into extensive, really extensive details.
And some cool pictures too.
Yes. About, So how do the daily minerals fit into, what are they for? How do the other Keto Chow electrolytes fit in? Like, do you need to use... Hey, this is funny. If you're like most people, not using the Keto Chow shakes for all of your 3 meals a day, we recommend using the daily electrolytes to establish a baseline.
Yep.
Anyway, so, oh, dang it, I wasn't sharing. Okay. So here we are. Yeah, this is the blog post that you get to
in the chat
on the daily minerals in this link right there.
The little blog post. So let's put that in the chat. Also, do you think you could go back and show the bundle again and put that in the chat?
I was sharing at that point.
Oh, but could you put the link in the chat?
Yeah.
Thanks. You're so nice.
Okay.
Also very handsome.
Paste.
In thinking mode. I keep getting glares on my glasses.
Yeah. Okay.
It's fine.
Hold on. This is going to take me a while.
It's fine.
I have this silly little trackpad.
That's silly.
That's a little bit difficult to
select things.
To move around with and paste.
So there it is, the electrolyte supplement bundle.
Yep.
It's so cute.
Okay, Shauna says I've not really been in a buying mood anyway. Well, okay.
Alice, hi
Alice
guys.
is here from
My
Tucson.
First live with you from Tucson. Thank you for saying hi. We appreciate you being here today.
Yep. Too Crazy Keto says you have to go into YouTube under settings and click all the options. There you go.
Thank you.
Exposing Darkness says I'm using an old iPad mini and having such an issue trying to work with your site.
Oh, I'm
sorry.
Are
you in Chrome or are you using Safari? I would recommend using Chrome if you are having issues. Scott says I smoked some amazing baby back ribs. They fell apart trying to eat them.
That sounds amazing.
It's always so sad when you're trying to get meat out and you're like, oh, it falls apart.
Use my fork.
Betsy says, I'm always on my phone and thought I got everything would go right along with my crummy days.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Let's see.
But at least you're beautiful, so
says, I'm so glad you take the time to get the flavors right, especially chocolate peanut butter. Mon Gentile says, do we have a cookbook? We do have our 7-day Keto Kick Start. Well, it's a printable book.
Yep.
We don't have anything printed because, well, it would cost more that way.
The printed things that we do have are recipe cards.
Yes, so we do. If you go under, well, shop, bottles and more.
All the other things. So
there's either recipe cards or a recipe box. And the recipe box has recipes that aren't available anywhere else. Or, oh my gosh, scroll. If you go here to kitchen and then to recipes.
Yep, we
have several hundred.
A lot of them posted. That fried chicken, I'm going to do a video about that.
Oh, that thing is nuts.
It is so yummy.
This is actually Carl Franklin's recipe. I did get specific permission from him to post it anywhere we want. It is so good. It was good enough that on Sunday we had left it at work.
Yes.
I went to work with Kate because she needed to eat some food.
Yeah.
And I got it for her, and she ate them. So it's, in this case, chicken breast halves, or you can use the chicken tenders. You can just use regular Parmesan cheese. He called for this fancy one, super fancy.
Yeah.
Some eggs, savory chicken soup, crushed pork rinds, and then the stuff to fry it in.
Yeah.
And in case you're wondering, the best way to get tallow, which is beef fat, is trim a brisket.
Then just put everything in the crock pot that you're not
eating. All the fat in the crock pot.
And just let it run for a couple of days.
Render it down. Yep. Anyway, so yeah, we don't have a cookbook, but we have lots and lots of recipes on our site. Susan says, I hope they get the banana right. It's one of my favorites since I don't eat bananas anymore. And that's one of the reasons why I was like, nope, go back. It actually tasted like an overripe banana, the one that I tested.
Too far. We'll fix it.
Let's see, Sanchez says, sweet. Scott says, I received my credit today and it went right back to you. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Alan is here.
Hi,
Janet says hello also. Pat says, hey friends, loving your new videos. So professional.
Thank you.
Yeah, you can tell when I stopped making the videos because they look a lot better now. He says, I got a text about 2 free gifts with my next order. What could the gifts be? So that's one of the things we wanted to talk about today is what is included in the Father's Day special.
Hey,
it tells you right on the page.
So it's the summer flavors: orange cream, orange mango, peaches and cream, guava grapefruit, root beer float, pina colada, key lime, grape, and 2 free gifts, which is the playing cards in a sticker.
Yep, they're right there. So if you didn't get one of the playing card things that we included
back in the day
in the December Chow Club, they're now available, and people were like, that's a Father's Day thing? Absolutely. Dads want dumb stuff. Now, you do need to use the coupon code DAD10. Strangely enough, if you click on that link, it added the coupon to my shopping cart. See, there it is.
It went in.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
So just clicking on that link adds the coupon code.
Yep, and we know that you can use gift card, which is rewards points, with this coupon.
Yes, you can.
In case that question comes up, because it'll go in as its own thing. So,
but we did have some people who forgot to use the coupon code.
Yeah.
And so, like, our customer service team is having to go back and adjust their order.
But they will do that. So if you ever have any problems, please reach out to our customer service. They are amazing.
If you got a problem, they'll solve it.
Pick up the beat while a DJ.
Scott says, I'm gonna have to get the Stuffler. Only get it if you actually feel like you need it and you can actually afford it. Do not buy things you can't afford.
Right.
Please don't.
Yeah. Save your money.
Yep. Janice says, I love the daily minerals mixed with olive juice or pickle juice.
What a good idea.
Well, and that's interestingly enough. So the daily minerals, the original formulation that Dr. Berry gave us, would have required 2 tablespoons per serving because of the additional sodium. And I'm like, hey, if we cut back on the sodium, and sodium's easy to get from, say, pickle juice.
Yeah.
If we cut back on the sodium, we can still get all of that potassium and all the other minerals, but we can fit twice as many servings in the same package, so we can reduce the cost to people. And he thought that was a good idea, so that's what we went with. So adding some a better source of sodium. Awesome. Please do it. Denise says, someone on Dr. Berry's Live asked what magnesium we use in the drops, and is it the same as the daily minerals? Yes, it is. It is ionic magnesium chloride. Not to be confused with the junky magnesium oxide, which is terrible. And it also not to be confused with magnesium citrate, which is what they use to clean you out for a colonoscopy. Also, if you use daily minerals, do you need electrolyte drops? So that was answered in the last segment that we were just doing.
Yeah, just up. But
you may or you may not. Heard it. Yep. So it kind of depends on your needs. The daily minerals are a good basis.
Yep.
Whereas the electrolyte drops are more for spot treatment to give you the additional electrolytes when you feel like you need them. And knowing when you need them is something that it takes a little bit of figuring out your particular body's needs.
And you have to kind of pay attention to what you're eating throughout the day.
Yeah.
And what you're drinking throughout the day. Typically in the morning, I always have a big glass of water with daily minerals right when I first wake up. And then in the evening, I always have magnesium no matter what. And then throughout the day, I'll have either fasting or the electrolytes. Anytime I'm fasting, like really fasting, I always do fasting drops a lot more. And then I typically do more magnesium drops too when we're traveling, because my legs have a hard time just sitting still for a long period of time.
J-Dog is still doing programming with C++. I hope you can move on to PHP at some point, J-Dog.
So boring.
Anyway, I hope you get better soon. Latanya says, I would like to try. Gotta check it out. Okay.
Yes.
Virginia says, good evening. Dennis says, both Safari and Roku just paused for more than 2.5 minutes. Wow. That's weird.
That is weird.
All right. Betsy says, I've loved and appreciated all your videos.
Thank you.
J-Dog said, did that thing show 28 calories? It's because there's a slider that you can choose. You know, there's a couple of recipes that the entire recipe is all of that in that. It's not broken up at all. And so, there's one that has really crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to eat the entire thing.
Yep.
It's just, you can cut it down to serving. So if you put the whole recipe in, then you can say, I'm having a half a serving.
Sean says, couldn't you just air fry it? You would say that, wouldn't you?
You could air fry it.
Air frying, Auntie.
I don't have an air fryer. I mean,
Actually, you do.
We
You
just
probably
don't use
could.
it. Actually, Sam used it the other day, and I put it away because that was nice of me.
Betty says, good evening, all. I'm looking forward to receiving this month's My Chow box. Heading to the kitchen now to make up some chocolate peanut butter for tomorrow.
Yes.
Janice says, your peanut butter keto chow is my love.
I love it too so much.
Linda is here. Lynette posted the fried chicken recipe. Thank you. Talita says, hello.
Hello. Thank you for saying hi.
Stong wants to know, is John going to have a weekly video updating us on his journey?
I think that's
believe
the plan.
that's the plan.
We're kind of playing with some different things.
Karen says our customer service team is awesome and responds so quickly.
They are so awesome.
Kathy says, I finally redeemed my info stack today. Thanks, Travis. He is awesome.
Yay, thank you, Travis.
Janice says, I looked at that one today. I just can't go with a Pina Colada. Oh, well, that's another thing we're going to talk about is
yes.
Pina Colada
Don't sing the
is
song.
available
Don't sing the
in
song.
large bags.
Okay, I'll sing the song.
No, don't sing it.
If you
So
like pina
you've got
colada.
the Go Pack is the 21 mil. Yeah, and then the
Oh,
big bags.
but look at how many.
The singles are
gone.
starting to
They're
get. It's because
almost
we had a lot of them. Anyway,
almost gone.
but yeah, we have the large bags of Pina Colada.
I'm so happy.
That brings up another question.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what is the status of Pina Colada? Is it limited edition? Is it seasonal?
Did we say
what
that
is
out
it?
loud?
No, we haven't said it out loud.
Do we have to?
Well, it says on the the thing says limited edition still.
Okay, then it's limited edition.
For now,
For now.
fairly certain it'll probably end up being seasonal.
I like pina colada.
Yeah. Okay.
It tastes really good mixed with coconut oil.
Yes,
That's
it does.
melted.
Anyway,
And made into fat bombs.
Janice says,
With a
I'll
little
just buy
umbrella
the
in the
big
top.
bags I ordered today and the chocolate toffee. What's that?
Would you like a pina colada
Nope.
fat bomb with a little umbrella in the top?
Nope. That's weird. Let's see. Denise says, thank you. Answered the correct magnesium. Just wanted to make sure nothing had changed. Nope.
Yep.
J-Dog says Apache programming. Apache programming isn't programming. That's just config files.
Okay.
Talita says, I met you guys at Metabolic Health Summit.
Yay!
She wasn't there.
I was slacking off.
No, you were hanging out with our
I
children
was hanging out
who
with
needed
my kids for
they needed
Mother's
mom
Day.
time. Yeah.
I also need kid time because they're teenagers, so they
true.
think they can go everywhere, and then I miss them.
Hey,
So.
Joe's watching this using his Starlink internet.
Yay!
That's pretty
How cool.
cool.
Is that?
I've been talking to him a bit about it, and I'm pretty enthusiastic about it.
You've been enthusiastic about Starlink since it came out, though, because it's so cool.
All right, Scott says I ordered the best big bag out there, peanut butter.
Yay!
Peanut butter or chocolate peanut butter?
Yeah, whatever. They're both good.
Okay, so a couple of questions.
Okay.
We already covered a bunch of these just organically.
Oh yes.
I was joking around with our kids, by the way, organic, that we should give one of our flavors of Keto Chow a like, you know how they say things are like titanium or gold or platinum. I'm like, we should call it carbon.
Carbon.
And then
Fiber.
I barely could complete the sentence because I was
He was
laughing so
at
hard.
his own joke.
I said, because then when people are like, is it organic? We'll be like, of course it's got carbon.
You're still laughing at your own joke.
Yes, I am. Hey, if nobody else laughs at your joke, at least you can, right?
That's right.
Because if the women don't find you handsome, at least they can find you handy.
Okay.
That's from the Red Green Show. Seriously? Oh, man.
Do I look like the type of person who watches the Red Green Show?
Actually, no. Let's see. Scott says, oh, it was just the peanut butter. Living for Life
Perfect.
says, thank you all for all you do. Keto Chow helped me break through a stall.
Yes, thank you.
Tikritsuki is just saying Starlink would be awesome at your campsite. Yes, it would. Although we
get good service there.
We get really good cell service now using the InstiConnect and the AT&T SIM card that I have in there. We actually get really good service, like fantastic service.
And
so,
just barely, Chris put, what's the thing that goes like this on the wall? in the trailer? That you just put
That's
in
what
there?
I'm talking about.
Oh, that thing, the
Yeah.
Insta-Connect. You put it on the wall, and it has all the
It's
little,
actually properly mounted
has all
now.
the little antennae or whatever
Antennae.
on the wall, and I think it looks great because it's not on the counter, dirtying everything up with cords
Miriam's
and
primary
random
concern
stuff.
was whether it looks cute.
I always care if things look good. Like, hello.
And it was like, oh, it had a good wife acceptance factor, huh? Okay, Miriam,
Yes.
is it necessary to refrigerate Keto Chow shakes, or can you drink them immediately?
That is a great question. So we recommend that you mix them and then put them in the fridge for 30 minutes, but it's not necessary. The reason why we recommend it is because it helps the flavor like combine a little bit more, not so vitamin-y tasting.
Is having stuff taste good important?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So that's why we recommend putting it in for 30 minutes, but I can't tell you how many times I've just mixed it normally and drank it right away. I've drank it hot, I've drank it cold, I've drank it,
What if you're
all the
like
time.
Kim and you like mint chocolate?
Then you should heat it up and drink that.
Yeah, I mean, you could mix it up
Chocolate
with
mint
butter,
is so good.
with warm water, melted butter, and just drink it right away. You don't
Yes.
even have to refrigerate it at that
So
point.
good. So
But-
no, you don't have to refrigerate it. We just like them refrigerated. And the nice thing, something that I really, really love about Keto Chow is we can take on Sunday night or whatever and make a whole bunch up and just stick them in the fridge, and they just sit in the fridge for the week, and we just grab them out as we need them. So we know we're
Lasts
prepared.
up to 6 days. for most of it.
Our meal prep is ready, and I don't have to stress or think about it. I just be like, I'm grabbing my lunch, and I'm out the door.
Yep.
So that makes me happy.
So there you go. Yeah. You can totally. We've gone camping and stuff like that. We once did this like 40-mile hike over 3 days.
Yeah.
And we were mixing up chocolate with avocado oil and drinking it right away.
Yeah.
And
we
then
just
washing the
wash it
bottles,
right
letting it
then.
dry. And it wasn't a problem
I
at
think
all.
we should do that again.
No. I am going to girls' camp with our daughters
I am not.
next week. So. But I'll
So
probably
I'm
just
going to
bring
stay
a
up and
cooler.
watch Harry Potter all night. Actually, you know what I've been wanting to watch? Lord of the Rings.
The funny thing to me is, so I went to, where did I go? I went to one of the shows. I think might have
it
been
Metabolic Health
Yeah.
Summit?
And Mary was like, oh yeah, well, I'm going to stay up with the kids and we're going to do all this fun stuff. I'm like, I'm not the wet blanket. I am not the one killing the joy in this family that you get to have fun when I leave.
Yes, you are.
Where'd this come from? Oh, Dad's gone. We can finally have fun.
It's so funny. Okay, so last night,
Yeah.
right? You went to your mom's house to fix something.
Yeah, to fix her computer.
And we're all like, okay, it's 8:30. We promised ourselves we're going to go to bed. And all the kids are like, but Dad's not here.
So we can keep watching anime.
Keep watching the show. And I'm like, oh,
Crunchyroll
I'm so
party.
tempted. But I'm the one who's making this rule. It's not
Yes.
even Dad's rule. It's my rule.
I'm just the one that gets to enforce it. Anyway.
so funny.
All right. Visual Keto
Dad's
says
not
Red
here.
Green Show is the best. Lynn says, yeah, I like the Red Green Show. Scott says, if you can't laugh at yourself, call me. I'll laugh at you.
Perfect.
At you. Living for Life says Keto Chow is great for camping trips and travel days.
Yes.
Right Family says, I laugh at my own jokes. Elizabeth says, mom jokes aren't a thing.
I
Scott
love
says,
it.
I've never heard of
I
the
love
Red
it.
Green Show. It was actually on PBS back in the late 90s or early to late 90s.
I don't know. It was dumb, I'm
Man,
sure.
my nose itches. Scott says, making it
That's
in the
why you
morning
liked it,
and
huh?
drinking it for lunch seems to be enough time to make it extra yummy.
Totally.
Yeah. Oh, well, and actually, this is funny. So yesterday, I brought a bunch of Keto Chow with me, and one of them said Snickerdoodle Control.
Yes.
Because I was doing tests of the flavors.
Mm-hmm.
And Holly was like, oh, hey, there's the one in here that says Snickerdoodle Control. Is that up for grabs? And in my brain, it was one from earlier.
Yeah.
And I
Well,
said-
we've been having so much testing
Yeah.
going on that we have all of these different labels. So
To the point that Miriam froze a bunch of them in the creamy.
yeah.
So that they wouldn't go bad. And me, not thinking, said, yes, that is absolutely up for grabs. And Holly said, great. And so she put it into the ice cream maker and made ice cream and enjoyed it.
Yep.
And I was like, oh crap,
That was my
that was
lunch.
my lunch. And so right then and there, I
That's
mixed
what
up.
happens when you give your lunch away.
I know. I mixed up apple pie keto chow, put it in the fridge, and
love
2
apple
hours
pie
later,
keto
I
chow.
had it for lunch, and it was great.
Yes.
So
Okay, in the Stuffler, apple pie keto chow, cut up some zucchinis, but soak them in apple tea
oh,
first.
where you bubbled it, boil
and
them in
then
there.
make an apple pie in the Stuffler. Yes?
Okay.
Joe, challenge accepted.
Dennis thinks my haircut looks like Scott from Pentatonics.
Yeah, you're so cute.
He says 40-mile hike on purpose. Did the car break down? No, we actually did a big giant circle, and it was.
It was a big activity
was
with a bunch of the youth.
Southwestern Wyoming,
It was awesome.
kind of by Evanston.
Everybody got blisters. I only got like 3, but they were
I didn't
bad.
get. Did I get blisters? Anyway, Kim
think you
says,
got, like,
okay,
2.
if you only use 6 shakes as a dessert, would it be best to omit fat to just get the flavor? If I'm only using a shake as a treat, that is. Well, so
I see what you mean.
to take full advantage of the vitamins that are in Keto Chow, you need at least 10 grams of fat.
Yes.
But if you are going to use Keto Chow without fat, we want to make sure that you're not doing it to avoid calories and that you're doing it intentionally and for a specific purpose.
Yep.
Because so you can mix it up with water and just a little bit of fat, or you could have fat in your digestive system at the same time.
Like you have your steak and then you have your Keto Chow
That
for
would
dessert.
that would totally
That
work.
would work.
Then you would get really, really a lot of protein.
Yep. But
Anyway.
we need a lot of protein. I think that's
Yes, we do.
something we've been afraid of for so long, and we need to focus on getting our protein.
He says dad equals fun killer.
Fun
Yep.
killer.
Alan says he was very funny, yes. Visual Keto says, yeah, Red Green is now on YouTube. That's right.
Nice.
Right Family is out.
Good night.
He says, the Red Green Show, are you being served? Keeping Up with Appearances was my jam back in the day.
Keeping up with appearances.
And Patty says, has anyone made a Keto Chow with no fat in the creamy? We did it with very little. You did PSMF.
Yeah, I did it with only 10 grams
It
of
wasn't
butter.
super amazing.
It wasn't as good, but I mean, if they put the peanut butter in after, that'd probably be good.
Yeah, Patty did that
do
for the
it.
last spin.
Yeah.
Kim says, thanks.
You're welcome.
Okay, so here's another really good question.
Okay.
How can you tell when Keto Chow rewards credit expires?
I don't know.
Okay, so I can tell you. So there's 2 ways. So a lot of people were talking about that they just got their credit from the Memorial Day event.
Right.
When you make a purchase and you get rewards credit, or you refer someone and you get rewards credit, the email that it sends will have your code that you can use to redeem it.
Okay.
It will also tell you what your balance is, and it will tell you how much you got and when that particular amount is going to expire.
Okay.
Because it lasts, I think it's 6 months.
Okay, so I'm wondering if you could just go to your email inbox and then search like Keto Chow rewards and see if you could pull up
So that's
that email.
one way to do it. Okay. So just looking at it and then just using it, well, because it's actually not hard to use it. It just shows up as a payment option in the checkout. But if you are concerned about it expiring, now unfortunately it doesn't show in the rewards portal. Like you can log into your account and see how much rewards credit you have. It doesn't tell you in there when it's going to expire.
Okay.
I brought that up with the company that we're using for the reward system.
So be like,
right
hey,
when we
if you
first
wanna
started off,
improve,
I said,
here's what you should improve.
I mean, you should really show that. And they're like, oh,
That's a good
that's probably
idea.
good. Because our team can see it. Like if you call or email our customer service team and say, hey, can you just let me know when my rewards expire? They'll look it up, send you a screen capture, whatever. And it's super easy, barely an inconvenience. But aside from your email or contacting us, there's not a good way. Just hopefully you're using it, well, relatively quickly, and it's not even an issue. So there you go.
Yippers.
Let's see. 300 Bowler says, I make my ice cream with heavy whipping cream, almond milk, ice cubes, and water, and the Vitamix. It's like a milkshake.
Perfect. That sounds awesome.
Let's see. Judy says, as time goes by, it was good also on PBS.
Oh, right.
Scott says, okay, everyone, I hope you all have a great night. I'm off to bed. A raspberry cheesecake for breakfast.
Yeah,
nice.
Sleep tight. Bless you.
I might have gotten the microphone covered in time.
Microonda?
No, microfono.
Wrong micro.
Anyway, okay, so here's another good question. Are the 21 meal bulk bags different from the individual meal packets? Some people have noted that the singles may have more flavor or mix thicker. Is that a manufacturing problem or what's going on?
So we've actually had that question quite a few times. What we've noticed is occasionally when you're pulling out of the big bag, you don't fill the scoop all the way. And the scoop is not exactly perfect either. So it's as close as we can get in a scoop. But if you want to be super accurate, you're going to want to weigh it out to the measurements that are listed on the bag.
Yeah.
So that it can be the right amount, because typically the scoop is not packed well enough, or it hasn't been weighed. So if you want it to taste exactly the same as the packet, then it needs to be weighed.
Yeah.
I don't care that much, and sometimes I'll overfill it or underfill it, and I just am like, oh, maybe I should have put more. I'll do better next time.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are the reasons why.
Yeah. So the FAQ that we have up here is when we, a while ago, we had a batch of Keto Chow that, like, it was a little bit less dense. And so a lot of people were complaining that, hey, this doesn't taste right. And it's because the normal size scoop, unless you packed it really well, wasn't getting the right amount. And so we actually went through and weighed out scoops and found that, well, there was a difference. So by far, the most accurate way to measure Keto Chow is to weigh it.
With the scale.
Yeah, and what I would say is do a scoop, weigh it, and see how close the way that you pack it is to the serving size. And the serving size you'll find right next to the nutrition panel. It'll say, 46.3 grams or whatever like that. And if it's close enough and you're like, hey, you know what, that's pretty good. But yeah, if the flavor is significant and it's not as thick and things like that, well, there could be a couple of things. So number one is the difference in mass, the weighing versus scooping, that whole thing.
Okay.
It could also be that the individual packets you had were a different version of Keto Chow. So, and someone was asking about that a couple of weeks ago.
Yes.
What is that little V 2.5.1 and 2.7. What's that all about?
Yeah.
Well, every time we make a change in Keto Chow, and we actually have a page about it. If you search for Keto Chow change log, you'll find it. Every time we make a change, we give it a new number so we can tell, okay, this batch was part of that particular one.
Right.
And this stuff has changed. When we had a problem with magnesium.
Yeah.
Back in it was between September and February, September of 2021. And when we made the change to the magnesium, it did come along with a change to the viscosity, so the thickness and the flavor of Keto Chow, because the new magnesium we were using, by and large, tasted really close. But a lot of times we had to bump up the amount of flavoring in order to get it.
Pump up the volume, pump up the volume.
Dance.
Dance.
So it was really close, but some people were more sensitive to the taste of that than others were. So some people, it tasted exactly the same. Other people were like, what did you do to my Keto Chow? So it may be that with the singles, you got the stuff with the magnesium malate, the old stuff, and with the big bag, you may have gotten the magnesium chloride.
So that would be why it would maybe taste different.
That could be a difference in the flavor as well. It was, we didn't really want to make the change to the magnesium. It was do you want to have Keto Chow?
Or not.
Or not? We went with we want to continue being able to supply people with Keto Chow. So we really quickly came up with the best option that we could. We now have access to the original magnesium. So the stuff that's going into production now does have that new magnesium, although the cost has increased.
Ooh.
Not just of the magnesium, the cost across the board for all of our components
Has increased.
It's gone up, and so that's
inflation.
Yeah, well, I don't know that that's necessarily inflation. I guess you could term it as that, but it's just component increases have gone up.
In price again.
Yeah, so
like
that you guys won't be
already.
seeing that yet. We are starting to see that in the stuff that we're ordering. So we're going to have a sit-down discussion and figure out what we're going to do about it.
So sad.
Last time we introduced free shipping to kind of offset that. I don't know what we're going to be able to do this time.
We can offset.
Yeah.
I don't think we can offset it when it comes. Sorry. So it'll be coming.
Yeah, so there's that whole can of worms. So, yeah, that's why the individual meal packets may taste different from the 21 meal bulk bags. So, let's see. Dennis says, I'm always weighing, unless it's a single. There you go. Jerry says, to weigh or not to weigh. This is the way.
Yes.
Phil says, other than the Ninja Creamy, what's the best machine for ice cream? So, we did a roundup on ice cream makers.
Yep.
And I believe it's the Cuisinart ICE 100.
I don't remember.
It was one of the ones that you could do the freezer bowl. That actually froze it really quick and did an amazing job. There are compressor ice cream makers that did actually a bit better job, but at that point you might as well get a Ninja Creamy.
Yeah. So ever since we got a Ninja Creamy, we haven't used the compressor ice cream maker, but we still have it, and it was a lot, and we really loved it.
Yep. Lynn for
When it
Life
gets
says, I just
hotter,
ordered
we
the chocolate
probably
toffee.
will.
Can't wait.
Yay.
Well, this is chocolate toffee pudding. Really, Lynette? That sounds so good.
That's what she had for lunch today, I think.
Yeah, Janice says, I can't tell the difference myself. Let's see. Yeah, and then Lynette put up the link to
Thank you,
us
Lynette.
comparing ice cream makers. Thank you. Sean says, inflation indeed. Phil says, thank you. Exposing the Arctic says, yeah, you have to increase the price to stay in business. It's sad, but just a fact of life. The facts of life. The facts of life. Mike is talking about his hoard of Keto Chow. The cost increases are one reason to stock up now.
Oh, man. Whoops.
Somebody go over to Mike's house, he's got a lot. Gina says, I'm loving the salted caramel by itself. I had salted caramel Sunday morning
You did?
on my way
And you
to...
remembered how delicious it was?
Yeah, to the place that I was going.
The place you went to on Sunday.
Yes, and it was really good. I was like, dang.
Wow, this is yummy.
This is really yummy. I do still like chocolate toffee better. But the salted caramel was surprisingly good.
I like this.
It had been so long since I'd had it. LaShawn says, people who don't know business don't realize with free shipping how much of a hit the businesses take.
Oh, yeah.
Shipping costs a lot. Yes, it does. So if you got to go up in price to still make money, go ahead. Do what you got to do.
Oh, thank you.
Let's see. Melissa's talking about all the other British shows. Kathy says, I had chocolate toffee pudding for lunch.
Yes.
Nice. Mike says, yeah, you know it. Kel says, salted caramel with salted butter is amazing.
Yes.
The funny thing about
I
salted
think
caramel,
you're right. It's not extra salty.
Nope.
It's the same saltiness.
as all the other
But
ones.
it just tastes salty because salt's in the name. Right?
And the funny thing is, I've hardly had anyone complain about the saltiness of salted caramel. But a lot of people have complained about the saltiness of the other flavors. So it's just,
Yeah.
but yeah,
that's
it's
funny.
the exact same amount of
So
saltiness.
funny.
Denise says, can you gift rewards to someone else?
Yes.
Well, okay, so the rewards program, the way it works is it gives you a code.
Coupon code. Well, not a coupon code. It's a gift card
It's
code.
a gift card code.
Yeah.
And that gift card code is attached to your account, and it doesn't change unless you contact us and say, hey, my code got compromised, can you reset it? and then it takes about 30 minutes, and then I need to blow my nose. Then the portal will give you a new code. But you could, in theory, give someone that code, and they could use that to pay for their order. The problem is they could continue to use that code until you get it reset. You could use that code to
so if they got
purchase.
new rewards or something?
Yeah. So if you got new rewards, then they would continue to drain your account. You can use the rewards code to buy gift cards.
Yes,
and that's
then
one way that you could send
give them a gift card, and then you could not have to give them your rewards number.
Yep. Two Crazy Q says butter is almost double at Sam's Club and Costco. Wow. Some of it is the price of diesel at $6 a gallon.
Wow.
Genesis, thanks everyone. So Mary Ford has a good question and says, do you have anything without Splenda?
That's a great question. We actually talk about that a lot. Splenda is not the same as sucralose, which is what we use. We use pure sucralose, and Splenda is a brand name of sucralose that also has maltodextrin in it. And so we want to make sure that that has been delineated so that we do not have Splenda in our product. We have sucralose.
Yeah.
And Chris will go into some more words.
Yeah, so we are in. Okay, now to answer the crux of your question, do we have stuff without sucralose? Well, we do have natural strawberry that uses monk fruit. We have the base powder, which you can combine with your choice of a flavored sweetened protein powder. We also have 4 savory soup flavors that you mix up hot, by the way, that don't have any sweetener because that would be gross. And we are using 0.08 grams of pure sucralose. Not to be confused with Splenda. There is a massive difference. And to put that into perspective, the 0.08 milligrams is a 64th the weight of a U.S. nickel. For those of you who don't know, a U.S. nickel weighs exactly 5 grams.
Okay.
Anyway, and people are like, well, so why do we use it? And it's because it gives the best flavor. I don't want something that I have to suffer through. I want something that I'm actually kind of sad when it's gone, and I'm kind of like shaking it and trying to get out every last little bit. Now, there are studies, rat studies, that show changes to gut bacteria when they're exposed to sucralose. Well, number one, humans aren't rats. Weird. Those rats weren't consuming acacia gum. Now, on this page, if you Google Keto Chow sucralose, it'll take you to this page. Acacia gum is really interesting in the beneficial effects that it has on your gut bacteria. Also, well, those rats weren't on a ketogenic diet, but even more important is the dose those rats were receiving.
Was an unrealistic dose.
Yeah, so let's say that you weigh, just for kicks and giggles, 150 pounds.
Okay.
And say you're doing 2 Keto Chows a day. Your sucralose dosage is 2.3 milligrams per kilogram per day. The U.S. recommends about 1.6 milligrams per kilogram. Okay, well, that's what they say that most people consume. Okay. In the rat study, they were giving them a dosage of 80.4 milligrams per kilogram.
Yes.
That's a lot, okay? So back here, 2.3 milligrams per kilogram. So if you're eating 2 of these, you'd be getting almost 3%, which isn't a lot. And you would have to eat 68 meals of Keto Chow to get the same dosage that you would see in the rat study.
It's really silly that you made a calculator for that.
Well, it's because this question comes up, and there are a lot of people that are genuinely concerned because they hear people talking about sucralose without I guess you could say, without knowing what it is that they're talking about, for lack of a better term. They hear someone else say that sucralose is bad. Why is sucralose bad? Well, I saw this study that says that it's bad. Well, what did the study actually say?
The study also didn't test sugar
or
allulose
or all these other things.
Sugar alcohols or other things. Like it just tested one thing.
It talks about other studies. There was one in May 2021 where they exposed bacteria to different artificial sweeteners, saccharin, sucralose, and aspartame, and then they noticed that there was some weirdness going on. Again, they didn't compare it to
real sugar,
a natural sweetener,
because it probably would have done the same thing.
They didn't compare it to stevia or monk fruit. And it seems that in these studies, it seems like what happens is that your gut bacteria and other biological processes of your body can sense sweetness. It's not just your tongue that is sensitive to that. And so there is a change. Now, it's not an insulin thing, and it's not a glucose thing, but your gut bacteria reacts to stuff that's sweet. And if that's of concern to you, you should eliminate all sweeteners entirely from your diet.
Which is not a bad idea.
It's actually not a bad idea. That's kind of the whole hallmark of Dr. Berry's beef, butter, bacon, and eggs, is you eliminate all of that.
And then you can really start to learn about your body.
Yeah. And
realize the addictive purposes of sugar in the first
properties.
place.
That's the word you were looking for.
Purposes.
Anyway, so yeah, to answer your question, we do have some products that do not contain sucralose. I do not see sucralose as something to be concerned about. And it's been very heavily studied for years and years and years. And the ill effects are spurious at best. And it's kind of like the whole diet heart hypothesis, where they keep on studying cholesterol and insisting, and saturated fat, and insisting that it's going to be bad for you. And all the studies indicate that it's not really a big deal, or that it's not it isn't a big deal. But it continues to be studied, and a lot of people make a lot of money by telling people to eliminate artificial sweeteners from their diet.
Yep.
And some artificial sweeteners, I know people who cannot do ACE K. Asulfamine potassium. I can never figure out it. Or aspartame. They just can't handle them. There are some people who have a physiological reaction to sucralose. It gives them a headache. Yep. In which case, I would not.
Some people get a headache from stevia.
Yes, they do. And interestingly enough, the amount of people who we get asking if we can make stuff without sucralose is almost equal to the number of people who are grateful that we don't use stevia.
So it's just really funny. Ultimately, your body is your own.
Yes, it is.
Do your own research. Figure out what works for you. And if you have to make some allowances, even in some periods of time, like I know some people, I can't do without sugar-free gum, or I can't do without diet soda. Well, maybe right now that's what you need to have.
Yep.
And then maybe in a couple of months, you can give some of those things up. So you need to decide what's going to work best for you. And if it needs to be beef, butter, bacon, and eggs, great.
Maybe at that point in your time, Keto Chow is not for you.
Yep.
And that's okay. We can still be friends.
Yep.
Okay. So now that I've got on that, actually.
Thank you, Mary.
Thank you for asking that question, Mary. Sean says, so our rewards code stays the same. It does, unless you have it reset. 2 Crazy Kilos, I keep saying I'm going to sell my compressor ice cream maker, but I only paid $140 for it, and now they're over $300.
I think we paid a lot of money for ours.
We bought the same one that Joe did, because he said, dude, this is on sale, buy it now.
It was on sale. Like, it was like Black Friday or something.
Betsy says, so when we use the rewards, do we have to use all of them at a time? So you can't say only use this much.
That's the only bad thing about the rewards program.
Yeah, so if you have
the old one, you could use the little
you could specify how much to use. With the new one, it just uses as much as it can, up to however much is in your cart. Like if you have $50 and you're buying $10 worth of stuff, it'll only use that $10 worth. But if you have $50 in rewards and you only want to use $10, you can't do that. It doesn't work.
Sorry.
So, let's see. Dennis's backup compressor, right? Scott says, a nickel weighs 5 grams. The more you know. If you ever need to calibrate a scale.
Now you know how to calibrate a
scale.
You
use nickels.
5 grams.
Yep. Living for Life says, it was and I wanted more. And that's when you know it's great. There you go. Mary says, thank you. Very good explanation. Sucralose doesn't seem to have an impact on my insulin.
Good.
So most people, it doesn't. And I actually had a really good discussion with Dr. Eric Westman about this.
Yes.
And he has repeatedly said, everybody talks as if artificial sweeteners impact insulin. I have never seen a actual scientific study that indicates that there is any impact on insulin. So then that's him stopping and me interjecting that it seems that the impact on insulin is moderated, is regulated by the amount of glucose and other stuff. And where sucralose wouldn't cause an increase in glucose, yes, I can see how that would happen. Anyway, LaShawn says most people who speak on it don't know what they're talking about and listen to bad gossip or information instead of researching for themselves. Do you know what that is called? It's called a factoid.
Ooh.
So just like an android is something that is like a man, android, okay? A factoid is something that is like a fact, but is not. It's a gross imitation. A small bit of information that is true is actually called a fact-et.
Like a pipette?
Again, yes, the more you know. The problem is the term factoid has been misused so frequently, its accepted definition is itself a factoid.
Isn't that funny?
It's like redundancy department of redundancy.
Yeah. How redundant.
Or sesquipedalian.
Yes. Sesquipedalian.
Look that one up. That's a great word.
Doesn't mean what it means. It means person who uses 100 words?
A person who uses words that are a foot and a half long.
Right.
Sesqua meaning 1.5, pedalian meaning person who uses, or foot. Anyway, so yes, it's someone who uses words that are a foot and a half long.
I don't know why I thought
There's
it was
a
100.
Phineas and Ferb episode that has a reference to sesquipedalian.
We've been using that word forever.
Yep.
Not even for any use of anything.
Well, it's a fun word. Debbie says, I went to see Dr. Rigby today.
Yay.
21 tubes for my blood draw. Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Important to get the right blood test.
Yeah, I'm going to go see him soon to follow up on my last visit. So I'm all excited.
Yeah, Mike says people keep claiming sweeteners kill gut bacteria, which I don't believe. Yeah, and it talks about that on that page.
Study.
MJ says my nose runs every time I eat stevia.
Wow, maybe you're allergic
That's
to it.
a really interesting reaction. Exchange Student says I finished off my key lime and raspberry cheesecake sherbet shake today.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, LaShawn doesn't like aspartame or stevia. There you go. Let's see. MJ says I do fine with sorbitol, which is interesting because I think it's Joe does not like sorbitol.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it really does. It's bad for him.
That's funny.
Let's see. Lori says I've been using stevia for about 10 years. Radical Geek says I have a black licorice aversion, so stevia can be hard for me at times. Good to see you, Dr. Maitreya, by the way.
How are you?
Exchange Student says I like watching at 2 times speed.
That's funny.
Leanne says, let's see, I'm getting hail and it's beating my front door like crazy.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. Exposing Darkness says, yeah, Dr. Eric Westman is awesome.
One
thing I really like about Dr. Eric Westman is, so he came to Keto Salt Lake, and his presentation was about internet keto versus like science-based keto.
Which we love that.
And it was really good because he's using stuff that has been proven to work in his practice with people of all walks of life, but particularly people of low income.
Yeah.
And what works for them. And it's more practical stuff instead of woo, woo, woo.
Yeah, it's well,
Really interesting.
And thinking about you can do keto with hot dogs and mustard, like Dr. Berry
Yes.
says a lot. I know the hot dogs are probably not the best meat, but you can do keto with that. And if you're going to have a better time with keto in your life, then I think that doesn't matter exactly if you have the best quality that you can.
LaShawn wants me to spell it SESQUIPADEAPEDALIAN, I think. Anyway, MJ says, I'm convinced that Chris is the only human who knows the real definition of factoid. It might be. Everyone else is an android.
He also knows the real definition of nauseous.
You mean nauseated?
No, I mean nauseous.
So nauseous means that it's something that is nauseous means it induces nausea. In you. Mm-hmm. So that thing is nauseous. I am nauseated. Anyway.
Yeah, because if you say I'm nauseous, that means
I'll just agree with you.
You're nauseating yourself.
Dennis says I had Amy and Dr. Eric's book in my hands today.
Yes.
Well, this is Dr. Rigsby is really known for his blood draws, his lab. Oh, it's another Dr. Rigby draw.
Which is funny because that's his lab. I took Dr. Rigby's blood somewhere else. And they're like, oh, this guy again? It was really funny.
And he says some people are allergic to ragweed, maybe allergic to stevia.
Oh,
Our
yes.
poor daughter did an allergy test today.
We'd never done anything like that
and
before.
it was like the full back with like, I don't know, like 30 different test sites.
I think ragweed was one of them that she's allergic to.
She's allergic to all the weeds.
It was so cute
all the
because
grasses.
We're sitting in there and she's like, well, I'm not having any allergies right now, but I just wanted to find out what I'm allergic to because I've had problems in the past. Like I've had these bumps on my hands and I've had, lots of sneezing and stuff. And he's like, oh, well, you'll be fine with just a little simple thing. And she's like, actually, could I have the full workup, please? Workup. And he's like, oh, you probably don't need it. And she's like, well, actually, I really want it.
Look, this is what I want.
And so he's like, okay. So he did the whole back, and then, well, the nurse did. And then he came in after it was done, and he's like, oh, you did need that.
You're allergic to everything.
You're allergic to all the things.
Cats, dogs, not horses or rabbits.
She's so excited. And she's not allergic to cockroaches.
Not so excited about that. Betsy says Dr. Barry interviewed Dr. Westman, and it was great.
Yes.
Scott says, yep, I'm getting some storms in Nebraska tonight. Thankfully, just heavy rain. Let's see. Kellen Michigan is laughing. He says, I will as IT. Yeah, spell it. There you go. Shauna says, my grandpa wanted to name my mom after a Catholic saint, Ignatius Leandra.
Wow.
She ended up being Nasha Lee.
Pretty much the same thing.
Her grandma didn't like what her nickname could have been. Yeah. LaShawn says, I will not do an allergy testing. I don't like needles, and that full workup is a mess.
It was actually really fine. I've heard, people say, oh, the scratch test, and I'm thinking they're like putting a lot of stuff in. It was
no,
so
they just
small.
inject it right under the skin.
Oh, it's not even in it. They like set it on your skin.
Oh, really?
And it's this tiniest little, I didn't even see any needles. It literally looked like they were just dropping a drop on, and they had these it was like these things with these little fingers, but
interesting.
It was so
were they
simple.
Pipettes?
No, they were so tiny. Like it was like I don't know what it was.
Were
exactly.
they pipoids?
Let's just make up your own word there.
Absolutely. That's what the Germans do. They just slam words together and call it a word.
I'm going to take Sam back there because he is allergic to everything also. And we know that because he just drips nonstop. He's just constantly.
He did finally figure out how to blow his nose, though. He's a big boy now.
Well, yeah.
Sean says allergic to factoids. There you go. Okay, well, I think it's probably time for us to go.
Yeah.
We've darkened your doorstep long enough.
I wanted to say something.
What did you want to say?
Okay, so today I decided I'm going to change up what I'm doing. I'm super excited about it.
Okay.
Lynette and Holly and I and a couple other ladies were sitting and chatting in the break room today. And
is that where this came from? Okay.
Yes. Because break room talk is good.
Break room talk.
So I'm going to do...
Time restricted feeding, right?
Intermittent fasting.
Yeah. With a smaller eating
so I'm going to do 18 hours fasted with a 5-hour eating window.
Okay.
From 12:30 to 5:30, and then I'm going to just have 2 meals in that time.
Okay.
And focus on protein, hitting
Prioritize
my
protein.
macro is
Okay.
what I'm going to be focusing on for the time being. I'm also going to probably incorporate 2 PSMF days into that same thing.
Okay. Interesting. That'll be interesting to get that much protein in with just the 2 meals. There is a lot of the lazy engineered beef in the freezer, by the way, that you could use.
Yeah, that'd be good. Thank you. So that's what I'm trying, and I'm excited.
Okay.
Work on that.
Mr. Patriot Lawyer wants to know, what's your
Yes.
favorite Keto Chow flavors to use butter as a fat base?
All of them.
Everything, anything with chocolate?
I have made every flavor with butter.
Surprisingly, Miriam doesn't really like the lack of flavor in the strawberry, but when you use butter,
Yes, it's much better.
amps it up a lot.
Yep.
So pretty much all of
butter
them.
and everything.
Janice says, I received my starter essential kit this week and made this snickerdoodle with butter, drank it nice and cold, delicious. I had snickerdoodle for lunch today. No,
Nice.
breakfast. I had pistachio for lunch.
She also said her
My
gut
gut
agrees
agrees.
with the ingredients. That's
tummy
so
issues.
awesome.
Nice.
I'm so glad.
LaShawn says it must be different now. My son had allergy testing and it was needle pricks and needle in the arm. Wow, okay.
Yeah. Well, and there very well could have been a tiny little needle in every single one of the things. But it was really cool, actually. And they did a really good job taking care of her, and she wasn't even that itching. But she also said, I'm used to not scratching and just trying to ignore and not think about it because I have so many allergies. I try and if my eyes itch, I just don't scratch them. If my feet itch, I just don't scratch. I just have to think of something else. So she's used to mind over matter. And the allergist said, he's like, well, what happens is people get used to feeling like this all the time, and they don't know what normal feels like.
Well, there will be
They're just
people
used to being
who are
stuffed up
flat
all
out
the time.
allergic to cats
Yeah.
and have had cats their entire life.
Yep.
And then they go on a trip and they're like,
wow,
wait a minute.
I feel amazing.
Or there's people who eat wheat their entire life, go keto, and don't realize that they were celiac.
I just feel so good. So similar thing.
Yes, indeed. Denise says it does still use needles. LaShawn says good luck. Scott says, thanks, guys. Enjoyed listening to the live.
Yeah, thanks for joining
us.
us.
Good chats happen in the break rooms. There you go.
They sure do.
Says, I do that fasting now. Good luck.
I've been doing it before, but I've just been kind of lazy for a while. So stepping it up.
Okay. Sean says, say hello to all the bear children.
Okay.
Betsy says, thank you, guys. It was great. Good night.
Thank you.
MJ's out too. Well, Sean says, butter, butter, butter. And Gina says, good night, all sweet dreams. Are made of cheese.
Are made of this.
Cheese.
Who am I to disagree?
Good night, guys.